Hey, welcome from Chair to CEO, the podcast for beauty pros who are ready to grow a business that feels just as good on the inside as it looks on the outside. I'm your host, Amanda Smearman, salon and spa owner, educator, mentor, and your go-to for all things leadership, mindset, and business behind the chair. Whether you're dreaming about opening your own space, building a high-performing team, or just trying to juggle life and clients without losing your mind, I'm here to help you turn that hustle into something sustainable, profitable, and aligned with who you really are. Each week, we'll dive into real talk about growing your beauty biz, leading with heart, navigating the ups and downs of entrepreneurship, and building a life that you actually love along the way. So grab your coffee or your color bowl, and let's get into it. Hey friend, welcome back to From Chair to CEO, the podcast for beauty pros who want more than just a full book. They want a full-blown career in business that feels good to run. I'm Amanda, your host, salon owner, coach, and beauty industry vet of over 2 decades. Today, we're diving into a topic that can literally transform your business, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this. This was one of the first systems that we kind of overhauled when we brought in our own coaching about 5 years ago, 4.5, 5 years ago, and we did a full training on it, and I could see the difference in client retention, client happiness, client satisfaction, and honestly, team confidence immediately after doing it. And be honest, we're probably due for another one of these classes because it's just good to touch base on every once in a while. But anyway, I'm talking about the client consultation. And before you think, I already do one of those, hear me out, because chances are you're not getting everything out of this 5 to 10 minute conversation. In fact, done right, your consultation sets the tone for the entire client journey. I'll also be giving you a sneak peek into something I've been building behind the scenes. My Complete Client Scripting Guide is here. This tool is packed with done-for-you scripts for consultations, service upgrades, pricing objections, and more. Because what you say matters just as much as what you do. So let's dive in. Here's the truth. Most beauty pros treat consultations like a checkbox. What are we doing today? That's not a consultation. That's a setup for miscommunication. A strong consultation isn't about what the client wants today. It's about uncovering what they really want long-term, what they hate about their current hair, skin, or nails, what their lifestyle looks like, what their expectations and budget are, and how you can guide them to the best plan with your professional expertise. Without that deep dive, you risk service dissatisfaction, pricing confusion, poor retention, and even stylist burnout from over-delivering and misaligned bookings. And this consultation is important to do for not just new guests, but existing guests. I'm not saying that your existing guest consultation has to be as in-depth, because by then you should have the basis of understanding what their goals are, what their lifestyle is like. But you still need to revisit these once in a while, even with your existing guests, to make sure that you're still on the same page and that they still have the same goals that you initially talked about. So let's break down a consultation that works, whether it's a haircut, blonding session, facial, or brow lamination. Every great consultation includes the following. Number 1, a welcome and confidence statement. For example, hey, I'm so glad you're here. My goal today is to really understand your vision and give you my honest, professional guidance so we can create a plan that works for your goals, budget, and lifestyle. That right there sets the tone. You're in charge. They're safe. This is a collaboration. Number 2, a deep dive into their wants, needs, and lifestyle. You're going to ask questions like, what do you love or dislike about your current look? How often do you like to maintain your color? Are you okay with regular in-salon toning or touch-ups? What's your typical morning routine like? Do you heat style often? These questions don't just help you deliver better work, they build trust. Number 3, education and a reality check. This is where you explain what's possible today, what's not, and what the journey will look like. For example, To get the bright blonde you're showing me, it may take 2 to 3 sessions so we don't compromise your hair. Here's what that plan looks like, and here's what you can expect in pricing and time. It's really important to be completely honest with them and always under-promise, over-deliver. If you're saying to them it's going to take 2 to 3 sessions, but you get it done in 2, or even like closer than you thought you were going to in the first one, they're going to be really happy. But if you say, oh, this is only going to take 2 sessions, but in reality it takes 3, they're not going to be as happy because it's going to be more time spent in your chair that they weren't planning on and more money spent that they weren't planning on. So always under promise, over deliver. Number 4, maintenance and investment talk. Always quote maintenance, time, and cost. Don't be afraid to talk about money. For example, this look would require toning every 6 weeks. You'd need to use a bond-building shampoo and a purple conditioner to keep the tone. I'll show you exactly what I recommend before you leave. Number 5, confirm the plan. Recap everything to make sure you're both aligned. So today we're doing step 1 of your blonding journey. We'll tone you to a beige blonde, and we're booking you for a gloss and cut in 6 weeks. Does that sound good? This ensures that you are both on the same page for what the expectations are, not just for today, but what you expect at the next appointment and what you're going to do at the next appointment. As I mentioned earlier, we did a consultation class a couple years ago, and the change was almost immediate. We had more rebookings because clients understood the next step, more retail sales, but most importantly, we had more team confidence and fewer complaints because we outlined realistic expectations. Don't get me wrong, we still get complaints. All salons do, but they're fewer and far between, and we take each one as an opportunity to evaluate what went wrong. Was it something on our end, or did the client really not understand what we were saying? And how can we fix this for the future? So let's talk about protection. When a client tries to say, well, I thought this would only be $100, you can pull up your consultation notes and say, here's what we agreed on during our consultation. I quoted $180 for this full foil and gloss, and you approved that plan. I've seen some salons actually have consultation forms where they'll go through and check the boxes on the services that are being performed that day and quote the price at the bottom and have the client sign it. We don't do that in my salon. I've considered implementing it. I actually think it's really, really smart, and it's a good strategic business move, especially if you are working with a lot of newer stylists, younger stylists that are still building and still learning and growing. This way you can always go back and make sure that you are looking, if there is a complaint, you can go back on those consultation forms and look and see exactly what was quoted, exactly what was said. I really think that it would help give newer stylists and honestly seasoned stylists a little bit more confidence in performing these services for clients that may be coming in for the first time or maybe color correction type of thing, that everything is mapped out and they actually sign and agree to it. I actually think that's really smart. This gives you proof, boundaries, and clarity. And honestly, I think from a client perspective, it would make them feel like they're being taken care of. We've had a lot of clients say, and it makes me so proud when I hear it, you're one of the only salons who's ever taken the time to explain all of this to me. Now that is loyalty and brand reputation. And we've actually had clients leave that in reviews saying that they were explained the entire process. They were quoted the price. They knew what it was going to be. They've never had other salons do that for them before. When they're leaving reviews like that, that helps your brand reputation as well. And then that becomes something that you're known for. So if you're independent, you can implement these things right away. Take these tips, take this advice, get the client scripting guide, and implement it right away. If you're a salon owner like myself, if you're a commissioned salon owner, you have a team, this can't just live in your head. You have to train it. So here's what you can do. Create a consultation script for every service category. Practice role-playing in team meetings. This was one of the most fun things that we did at our consultation training. It was really eye-opening to see different questions and stuff that were asked. And we kind of gave um, pre-planned scenarios that they didn't know what the scenarios were going to be, so they couldn't prep for it. Some were really simple, some were more advanced, I guess you could say. But it was a really fun team activity that they seemed to enjoy. And like I said, afterwards, I noticed as a salon owner a big difference in client satisfaction and team confidence. You can also use a client journey mapping to teach stylists how to connect the dots between the consultation, service, rebooking, and retail. That is also going to be in this scripting guide. You can track who's using them and who's not. You can even create a laminated cheat sheet that lives at every station for newer stylists. All of our stylists have clipboards. It can stay on their clipboard, something that they can access easily. This is really important, like I said, for newer stylists. I am a big believer that even in a commission-based salon where you have a cohesive brand, that everybody can be individual and still be themselves. My salon is proof of that. If you walk into my salon, nobody looks the same, nobody does hair the same, but we all have the same common goal. And we all have the same idea of how a consultation should go, how shampoo should go, how they're offered different things. So it's all kind of cohesive, and this is no different. When everyone uses the same structure, the client experience becomes consistent, and it's the consistency that builds the trust and it builds retention. So my clients know that, yeah, if they sit in this person's chair, their hair might look a little bit different than when they sit in this person's chair, but the experience overall should be pretty much the same. This is one of the reasons why I created, again, the client scripting guide, because it's a guide. It can give you that kind of consistent scripting that is used across your team, consistent verbiage, so when people hear it, they know immediately that that's your salon. This guide includes consultation templates, service upgrade prompts, rebooking conversations, and retail discussions. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is also one of the best places to create content. If your client agrees, record a snippet of the consultation and overlay a voiceover explaining what you're doing and why. Consultation videos are so big right now on Reels, on TikTok, and it is a great way to really show what you have to offer in a different way and let your clients or potential clients know that when they sit in your chair or they come to your treatment room, this is the experience that they're getting. Always ask permission from your client, though. You can also create before and after photo carousels with captions explaining the client's goals, time-lapse videos from consult to transformation. Another one would be, we said no to this request, educational videos showing the importance of setting boundaries, showing the client intake to consultation process with tips on what you're assessing. That would be a really big one for color corrections, especially if you're doing test strands, testing the integrity of the hair, and things like that. This not only builds trust with your audience, it establishes your authority and educates clients before they even sit in your chair. So here's your homework. Look at your next 5 clients and ask yourself, are you doing a consultation or are you just asking what they want today? If you want to elevate your consultations immediately, my complete client scripting guide is here, packed with ready-to-use consultation templates, pricing scripts, and upgrade prompts. Perfect for owners who want to train their teams and stylists ready to build client loyalty the smart way. I'm going to leave the link in the show notes, also on my blog post, so make sure that you check that out. It is going to be at an introductory price for a short amount of time, so definitely grab it now. There will also be a bundle available with my client experience toolkit if you haven't grabbed that yet either. Remember, consultations aren't just a step. They're the start of the client relationship. When you lead with clarity, confidence, and care, you stop chasing clients and start building a business. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and as always, keep shining and keep leading from the chair.